Today I wanted to do a quick video on 10 rules for success. So if you end up finding the topic interesting, please feel free to hit the like button and share this with someone else you might find who also might find this interesting. And feel free to leave a comment down below with your favorite rule or just some thoughts on these rules. So the reason I decided to do this video is because I like how Evan Carmichael profiles different successful people, and he does his take on their 10 rules for success. So I kind of created my own 10, so to speak. So my first rule for success is have a goal or target, because if you want to become successful, whether it's a job, playing sports, in a relationship, whatever it is, if you have a goal, if you have a target, it's easier to be successful. But if you don't have a goal, well, you can't succeed when you're not going after something. My second rule for success: have clarity. So if you have a goal but it's vague, well, how are you going to know you completed the goal? If you want to get into better shape, well, there's a couple of different ways you can know you got in better shape. You could be losing weight, you could be getting muscle, you could feel better, but just saying better shape is vague. So you want to be specific with your goals or targets. So instead of saying, I want to get in better shape, if you're 200 pounds and maybe your ideal weight is somewhere between 180 and 190 range, your goal could be, instead of I want to be more fit, I want to be at 185 pounds and feel stronger and healthier. You can not only set the target of how you'll complete the goal by 185, but also how you're feeling. My third rule for success is focus. So having a goal and having it specific is important, having clarity with it. But if you're not focused on your goal, if you're not making progress towards that goal, then you just have a wish. And you can say you have a goal, but you're not taking any action steps towards that. So you want to have focus on what you want to accomplish. Focus and action. I didn't specifically make action one of my rules, but action's very important as far as having success, because you can wish for something, but without action, you're not going to accomplish anything. So my fourth rule for success is work ethic, high work ethic. And that might seem like action, but in and of itself, it's not specifically action. It's just high work ethic means I guess it would be action. You're doing so much that you're outperforming everyone around you that's doing a similar task. So, if you're at work and, let's say the um, expected benchmark is 10 calls an hour, or help 20 customers an hour, or whatever it is. Well, if your benchmark is 10 calls an hour and you're doing 15 or 20, you're exceeding your target by, 1.5 to 2 times, which, a lot of people will do the bare minimum. So if 10 calls is required, a lot of people do 10, and then sometimes, they might have an hour where they do 11 or 12, but then, they'll have some that they're doing 8 or 9 calls an hour, so they stay right around that 10 calls an hour. But if you're consistently, hitting over that, you're hitting 15 or 20 calls an hour, and you slacking off is, maybe 12 or 13 calls an hour, well, you're hitting less, but than your average, but you're still over what's expected. So having a high work ethic will set you aside from your coworkers and help, get you promotions or raises. And obviously, having a high work ethic doesn't necessarily have to be work related. If your goal is better shape, are you hitting the gym every day you can? Are you maybe, working out twice a day some days? Are you, working out with intensity? Or are you just giving, 70-80% when you show up to the gym? There's different ways you can show high work ethic in your life. So that was rule number 4. Rule number 5 is have habits and routines. So habits are things that are actions that you take with consistency that become habits, because they're things you do all the time or a lot of the time. So, a habit could be reading, 10 or 20 pages a day, or, a chapter a day, or whatever it is. A habit could be going to the gym, 3 to 5 days a week, and going for walks, when you're not at the gym. Habit could be showing up to work early. In my particular job, I can be physically at work early, but I can't start work before my shift starts. Some jobs will allow that flexibility where, you can start early and work late, but my job doesn't allow us overtime. So habits are important for success. If your job allows you to, show up early and work late, that looks good. That kind of goes back to the high work ethic, but habits like showing up before you're expected and staying late can allow for more to be done. Or habits like reading will allow you to learn more, which I'll get to in another rule. Routines. Routines can be, a grouping of different habits, or just a group of things together to try to optimize something. So, an example of a routine, your morning routine might be to, eat breakfast and meditate and work out, and then, do your hygiene stuff like brushing your teeth, taking a shower, to get ready for work. Uh, an evening routine might be, doing some reading and then, brushing your teeth before bed. There's different routines that are going to have some actions depending on the individual that other people might not be doing. But you have to look through the lens of your goal or target to say, okay, well, XYZ, these steps are gonna, these habits are gonna put me closer to my goal, so let's make a routine around this. Let's say your goal is to write a book. Okay, so what if you write 1,000 pages a day, and depending on what your schedule looks like, maybe you set an hour or two in the morning for that writing time? Or what if you go out in nature to kind of relax and meditate so that you can get your mind right to then go do your writing in the afternoon? Like, it all depends on your schedule with, family, work, a significant other, whatever. But having, habits and routines can push you towards success faster. So, rule number 6 would be always learning and be curious. So if you have a goal in mind, you want to be studying about that so you can develop skills related to whatever your goal is. So if your goal is to get promoted to a manager at work, then you want to, study leadership. If you want to write a book, maybe you want to watch some YouTube videos about, whatever particular genre of writing you're interested in, to kind of get the creative juices flowing. And if you're interested in writing, maybe take some writing workshops or writing classes to improve your skills. Or if you want to become a public speaker, maybe join Toastmasters so you can hone your speaking skills and your communication skills. So rule number 7 is to create your environment. So some people will be at the mercy of circumstances because they're reacting instead of creating. If you create your own environment, you're improving your chances for, by defining what you're allowing and what you're not allowing. Whereas if you're reacting to circumstances, if you're reacting to the outside environment, you're automatically on the defensive. You're not creating, you're responding. So You just have to be careful about your environment so that you're not, like, by creating your own environment, you're giving yourself a better chance for success. Rule number 8 is network. You want to be around the right people. You want some supportive people, and you want people with a growth mindset, people that are, always looking to learn, people that aren't negative, people that aren't just wasting time watching Netflix. So it's been said a million different times by a bunch of different people, but you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you end up spending time with a bunch of criminals, you're probably going to commit crime. If you end up hanging around a lot of successful, well-educated people, you're probably going to be successful and well-educated. Rule number 9, have a positive attitude. Now, you want to be realistic, but you don't want to be negative. So when I say having a positive attitude, you don't want to look outside and see that the weather's crappy and be like, oh man, I'm going to have such a bad day because the weather's bad. No, obviously the weather's not great, so you have to be realistic. You don't want to be like, oh, it's sunny and 80 if, it's 20 degrees and sleeting. But you also don't want to go down the rabbit hole of being negative and then that impacting everything else throughout the rest of the day. You can choose not to be negative, and you can try to put a positive spin on things. And rule number 10 is don't give up. Whatever your goal may be, whether it's fitness, whether it's getting a promotion at work, or whether it's having a better relationship, you don't want to give up, because if you give up, you're saying, okay, my goal wasn't a priority, it's not important enough. If you have a goal, it's something worth going after. And it might be difficult sometimes, but that's when having that positive attitude kicks in, and okay, well, I just had a setback, but what can I do to move forward? I had a failure, but what can I learn from this so I can move forward? So hopefully you found some value in this. It ended up being a little bit longer of a video than I was anticipating. If you found it interesting, again, please feel free to hit the like button and share it with someone who also might find it interesting. Leave a comment down below on what you found interesting, and if you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing and hitting the bell notification so you can see more videos like this. Thanks, and have a good day.